This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
Yo, what is up? 24/7 Buff Fandemonium, the K-Gun Report. I'm Swank, your host. Listen, tonight we got a hell of a show for you, okay? We're 5-1 in case if you missed it, we're 5-1. We beat the Chiefs. We're going to talk all about it. It's going to be great. I put this nice little comment down here Rob Mullen threw at us. We're now 2-7 in one possession games since 2021. I see a trend moving forward. Me too, Rob. That one got me, dude. I had to put it up. So we're going to talk about that big KC win. We're going to talk a little rattle the reads. We got our MVPs on the offensive and defensive side of the ball thus far, and we're going to rank all the teams in the AFC. We're going to hit this intro, be right here for you. Kill it. Yo, here we are on a beautiful Tuesday night, a Victory Tuesday. If you're looking around the panel here, I am Swank. Right over here next to me, my boy, Mr. Jarrod Reed. What's up, Jarrod?
5-1. How awesome is that? FLX Mafia,
welcome. Did you have to stretch right before you said that? I'm like,
I just get excited. Man, what a great place to be before the bye week. A wonderful game. Lots to talk about for this game. FLX Mafia in the house. Love you guys all. Go Bills.
Go Bills indeed, sir. Down below, where he normally isn't, and I know we're messing with you guys, man, because the Twins swap places. But right down there is my boy Scooter Magooter. What's up, Scott?
What's up, Bills Mafia? 24/7 Buff Pandemonium and FLX Mafia, as Jarrod alluded to. 5-1. Rest your players, rest your anxiety, and try to rest your liver. We got a bye week. Go, guys. We haven't gone into a bye week with a win in a long time, so this is looking great for us. Get healthy, Buffalo. Let's talk about this win and a little bit of trivia tonight.
A little bit of trivia, a little bit of this and that. You know, that's what the K-Gun brings. A little bit of this and that on your Tuesday night. We got Rob Mullen here, like I said. We got Doug. What's up, Doug? We got Lisa and John Johns. What a game indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Ellen Lartz. What's up, Ellen? Chris Christian. Oh, we got Diana Kirkdorfer. We got Paulette Brown. What's up, Paulette?
What's up, guys?
John says the Three
the
Amigos.
Three Amigos. There you go. Maybe our intro should be the Three Amigos soundtrack, except
Ole!
Of course,
Casey, are Jarrod and Scott twins?
Absolutely.
Our whole life, Casey. Yep. Welcome to the show.
Oh, man. Bills Maverick, what's up, brother? We got Derek Monroe, what's up?
Flight School. Check out Bills Maverick on Facebook. They do Flight School with Bills Goose. They talk about Buffalo Bills stuff and trivia, which is fun, real life stuff, and hit them up. I can't remember what day. Throw out what day you guys do your thing there, Bills Maverick.
Push it, man. We'll get you guys on for a show here soon.
Oh, yeah.
We got so many great. Mario, what's up? We got, let's see, so many of our friends, man. Thanks so much for supporting the sporting nature of our live stream and, hanging out, having a good time. Do you guys want to get right into this game? Is that what you want to do?
Do it.
Hell yeah. For those of you that are new, like Swank said, leave comments. We'll get them up there. If you have some questions, throw them out there. We'll try to answer them the best of our ability. It's a fan-first perspective, so you're going to get our biased fan-first perspective answers. So we love it all. We love your participation. Let's do this.
Hell yeah. And here we are. Week 6 matchup against the ever-hated Kansas City Chiefs. There's a big mutual respect here. Two young, up-and-coming, change of pace, exciting quarterbacks. Kyle Brandt said, Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady, this is more exciting than Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady. I would tend to agree, especially since it's happening for us. I mean, what a chess match. What a heart attack. We got Buffalo Spartan here.
This is Sparta!
I dropped that one on you. You did good, though. Yeah, I mean, Jesus, what a game. Let's see. First impressions, first thoughts, hot and heavy. Scott, go ahead, buddy. What do you think of this game?
You know, this game this season is a lot of eyes are on Ken Dorsey. And, I didn't make Sunday sessions, guys. I wasn't there to talk about what I thought about this game coming up, the last minute thoughts. But one thing I thought of coming up to that point and even before the game is, how's Ken Dorsey going to address this Kansas City Chiefs team? He's been there as a quarterbacks coach. but he hasn't had to actually call plays against this defense that, Spagnolia has a good understanding of our Buffalo Bills offense. He's proven it, being middle of the road, if not worse, in defense, and still being able to keep up with our Buffalo Bills defensively. I went into this game thinking, what is Ken Dorsey going to do? Is he going to air it out, air the attack, and go deep ball for deep ball with Patrick Mahomes, or is he going to run a little bit, keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands, and try to control the game? And we saw a couple things happen, which I'm very happy to see. 17 carries for Devin Singletary. That's twice as much as his most attempts this year. And the man averaged 5 yards a carry, and he was effective. And he made it so the Buffalo Bills were able to throw those 2 long on the edge touchdown passes to Diggs and Davis, only because the coverage was there and they had to defend the run when you run that often. It was very effective game call. I thought a game plan that Ken Dorsey had. I was kind of relieved to see that he does sometimes want to adjust to what he's playing against and kind of thinks about the game plan instead of airing it out all the time. And I thought it was a wonderful thing to see. We still scored points. We still left, I believe, 14 to 20 points on the field. But we were still dynamic, even though we dialed up 20-plus run plays. I thought it was awesome to see Ken Dorsey adjust. And as we said earlier in the season, it's nice to know that if we have to turn something else on, like a run game, it could be effective. I'm going to take that away from the game. Josh Allen still played the way he did, 300-plus passing yards, very efficient, and it was just a wonderful game plan defensively and offensively for our offensive and defensive coordinators for sure.
Yeah, I think it was nice to see this run game get going. Kind of saw that diversity that we've been jawing about. A lot of Bills fans have been hot under the ears there for a nice run game, and I think Motor showed what we've said on this show for a long time. I'll say Jerry is a huge advocate for Mr. Motor Singletary, and he was churning yards, and I think that was the right call. I think it was right to have Moss be a healthy scratch and to throw that in there. And, I mean, you got a triple threat, right? You got Singletary, and then you got Allen running and leaping dudes in a single bound, and you got that pass attack. And now you're way more dynamic because you are successful at all 3 phases of that offense. Mm-hmm. Jerry, what did you take away specifically from this game?
I wanted to – you alluded to it already with Singletary. He was one of the guys – I went back and watched the highlights many times, and on offense, I watched Deion Dawkins, who pretty much didn't let anybody past him. That's why they pay him the big dollars. I really wanted to focus on his game, and like I said, he gets his arm extended on these defensive guys and they don't go anywhere, and his quickness and his feet is just amazing. But the big one I want to talk about is Singletary again a little bit. I encourage the Fandemonium to go back, and even if you're just watching the highlights, watch Singletary every play. The runs that he had that were stopped in the backfield were ones that he was getting tackled right away. So he was averaging, you said, 5 yards a carry anyway. Pass blocking, he just seems to be slipping into the lanes from where these guys are blitzing on every play. As a pass catcher, he'll do a chip block and then go out and get ready to become a pass blocker. But even when the play doesn't go to him, he is the guy that's hustling to the player who has the ball or gets tackled. And the importance of that, and I thought about this today, is there's going to be a time in the season where there might be another fumble or another play that the ball bounces a certain way. And the player who's going to get that and save a game or boost a lead is going to be Singletary because of his hustle to the player every time they have the ball. So I got this weird feeling that some time throughout the season that's going to happen. But he's always going to the ball. He's always hustling. And I know a lot of people like Christian McCaffrey, and there've been a lot of talk last 2 weeks about possibly getting him. But I think we got our guy with Singletary, and we've said it since day one. Like I said, I encourage you to go watch him the whole game, and you'll see why.
Yeah, I mean, he's Motor for a reason, man. He was averaging 7 yards per carry there in the first quarter, going into the second. Dude's a dog.
Yeah.
I'll talk a little bit about, I mean, you guys want to talk all about the run game. That's fine, man. I'm talking about the passing game. Dude, Stephon Diggs is a goddamn animal. This dude is a known problem, right, in the league. he took a step back last year, let these young guys kind of eat, did his part, still put up great numbers. I said in the offseason before week 1, this dude did that, and he'll continue to be a team player, but he's going to get his this year, and he has proven that. Number 2 wide receiver in the league in receiving yards, 6 TDs so far. That's 1 a game. I mean, the dude is on fire. He is challenging anybody that wants to press him or do anything. He's an outlet. He's running out of the slot. He's cutting out wide. He's making big plays when big plays need to be made. And he feels more comfortable when he's in those situations. That's what came out this week, was when the heat's on him and the game's on the line and he knows that number 17 is looking his way, he feels comfortable in those scenarios. Are you kidding me, dude? That is the dude you want. You got that guy and Josh Allen, who both just want that. They want the ball when it's on the line. And on the other side of the ball, we'll get to in a little bit, you got a guy like Von Miller who wants to be the dude and was the dude in this last week here in these big moments. And we'll talk all about how great Brandon Bean is, like I said, in a couple minutes when we get to the defense. But, I mean, Stephon Diggs, Jesus. That catch in the end zone was amazing. And it was a carbon copy of the touchdown pass that Gabe Davis caught right before the half, and was a beautiful thing. They were killing him, blitzing him, killing him. 7 straight incompletions, something like that against the blitz, and then all of a sudden figured it out. Boom, touchdown. And who else but Gabe Davis? I mean, you're going.
Can I quickly add that I'm so happy Nance has announced these last 2 games because Gabe Davis. I love it when he says that.
Listen, I posted on Twitter too the call he had for that leap. Like,
keep it and leap.
It's a keep. No, it's a leap. It's a keep and a leap. Like, that's gold. That's like better. Yeah. I almost wrote it's better. Like, that'll live in infamy more than 13 seconds will for me. Like, that's a great, like, on the spot call, man. That's almost like a hockey call, you know, top shelf and Mama's hiding the cookies. But yeah, I mean, between Gabe, Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox, come on, that had to happen. It was beautiful that it happened.
And that was not an easy catch. That was not an easy throw. That was wonderful coverage by that corner. And man,
all 3 of those TDs. Do you know what the percentage of a completion was? Like,
very low.
Less than 30%. All 3 of them.
Each time, yeah.
And that's your boy Josh Allen putting it right where it needed to be, and 3 dudes knowing that they need to hold on to that goddamn ball or else. So,
and it goes down to not only being able to catch the ball, keeping your pattern, but for those of you that don't pay attention to like the little stuff, it's the fact that they're able to run the route. And obviously, when you put your hands up to catch a ball, the defense can react a lot quicker. These guys wait till the absolute last second to put their hands out to catch the ball, making it so that defensive back doesn't react, can't face guard, can't put their hands up, can't turn around because they have no idea the ball's coming there. I saw that on Diggs' play. He put his hands out. That defensive back didn't even turn his head because he put his hands out such last second. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And that's what allows them to catch those over the shoulder with a guy right on you kind of catches, is that you keep that defensive back looking. He'll have a hard time covering you.
Ken O'Daniel says they're monsters. It's time to move on from McKenzie. Ken, I feel you. I think that McKenzie should have got benched probably after the first quarter. It wasn't his day. It wasn't going his way. I love the face of the franchise. I love him very much. Paulette, I love Isaiah McKenzie. It is not time to move on from Isaiah McKenzie, in my opinion. I think Isaiah is a dude that is adjusting to his new role on this team. I think that's a huge game, and I think he just maybe got a little bit of the yips. You know, that one ball was coming at him. That dude was targeting his head. He was in the air, fully extended. Nobody in their right mind would have held on to that ball, especially not Isaiah McKenzie. You know, the TD, I think he got a little overhyped and jumped when he shouldn't have, and missed that catch. You know, and it's a great win. And like I said, I love that dude. He'll bounce back. If you remember, he got benched last season, you know, for a couple games, and all of a sudden came back and asked the Patriots how that turned out. You know what I mean? So he'll get through this. It's a little bump in the road. Luckily, everybody else was firing on all cylinders, and made it made it easy. She said, "No, it's not time for my cousin to move on, but I think you could have done better."
Isaiah's 5'8", 173. So when you have something, when you're going up for the ball and someone's right in your grill when you're going down, the catch probability for that, Swank, you threw that out earlier, is probably lower than 1%. So
yeah, hell yeah. Paul,
And I'll be honest with you guys, I'd like to see Shakir get his chance over that and start rather than start when someone's injured. But it's something they signed McKenzie. They have a lot of faith in him. Some fans may lose faith in him after a fumble or drop ball, but the Bills are going to stick with him. I would love to see Shakir, but Shakir will shine next year as a more snaps kind of guy.
Sure. Remember, man, these guys are still getting adjusted to NFL, some of them.
Yep.
That's why, James Cook, you didn't see a lot of him. I thought he had a decent game, when he was asked to do what he had to do. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't huge, but he did his 1/11th, like Coach is always saying, right? So let these kids get their toes wet and contribute in any way they can. But I think, Shakir is that dude with that kind of DNA, like the guy in training camp you rooted for, that translated to preseason, that translated to game time. Like he's going to be that diamond in the rough, and he's going to have a chip on his shoulder for how late he went in the draft. And it's going to be great. You're going to have a great receiving core around this quarterback for a long time. So chill, everybody chill.
Yeah, and we don't need to wait till next year for Shakir. I mean, this is going to be one. We still got a lot of games left, and flopping in and out is what's going to be the name of the game in rotation, which gets me back to another highlight of this game. What was the issue last year in the playoff game? Remember, our defense was dog tired. Everyone was tired. We have the depth now where we don't have to worry about people getting tired. You know what I mean? That's another thing I learned about this game is we have 4 cornerbacks can play. We have 3 safeties. We have receivers that we have plenty of.
The cornerbacks you're talking about, most of them are backups.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
And look at the job. Like this is great. Let's segue. Let's go. Let's transition. You're talking about the secondary of this team. I've seen, and look, like usually Chiefs fans, man, we got this mutual respect for each other. It's like, yo, same team, same side, same place. We got a common goal. It's a great battle. Like usually it's not too much crazy smack talk. Mine's like Nick Wright or whatever. Like who cares about him? But like I've seen a lot of like sad Chiefs fans taking to Twitter talking about like enjoy your Super Bowl beating up on a secondary when we have this guy and this guy healthy. Dude, I've said to Scott for like the last 2 weeks, how many times can anybody look this up? Rob, where are you?
Yeah, I was going to say this. Rob, look it up.
Rob, please look this up.
Thanks for bringing that up.
How many times has Patrick Mahomes faced Tre'Davious White? Please tell me. Because I'm going to say, I think in the last 3 times that they've met, Trey hasn't been on the field. And if I have to hear one more Chiefs fan cry about how wait until you see us in the playoffs when our secondary's healthy. Dude, Micah Hyde out for the season. Jordan Poyer driving across country in a goddamn Sprinter van because he can't fly because he's got a cracked rib and air pockets in his lung, right? He was probably playing 100%, right? You got another rookie that's coming off a broken hand that played part of the time. You got Dane Jackson, who damn near got his head ripped off, in the second game of the season. And you're telling me that your secondary was beat up. Like, our guys are tough. Like, our guys went up against, I'd say, the second best offense in the league and held you to 20. So I don't think I want to hear anything else about it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's all I saw. We had 2 guys out. Oh, yeah? Do you not watch the games? Do you not pay attention to the Bills players either? It's like, come on.
Crazy.
Yeah. The only difference is our guys show up. Go ahead, play your rookies, your second stringers, your third, fourth, guys. If they can show up like our Bills secondary has, then you wouldn't be complaining. But because they didn't and they can't, you can't complain. 62% passing. And that was because a lot of third down passes were called holding,
Wow.
and they took away that
Yeah.
incomplete passing.
Yeah.
So that defensive backfield and the linebackers kept Mahomes at 62% passing. That is crazy. He was 68% before this game started. So, and that's with a bunch of backups, guys. So Chiefs, complain all you want. Was this a Super Bowl? No, because we beat you last regular season too. So
Yeah.
we will meet you in the playoffs, and it'll be a different story when the refs aren't not calling tripping penalties or manhandling of our wide receivers or manhandling of our defensive line. You have statistically the worst offensive line pass blocking in the league, and yet you still held the Buffalo Bills' #1 front four defensive team in the league to 3 sacks, and not a lot of. There was holding. We saw it on every part of this game, and it wasn't called. And I'll go back to that tripping penalty that wasn't called. That was just the icing on the cake for me. It was like, there it is. They're not calling anything, and they're especially not going to call the obvious.
Well, I'll tell you, man, offensive holding was getting me in the beginning of the game. I mean, Vaughn was getting his jersey stretched every down. And I was just like, are they going to call holding at all? And then I saw Dion. And Dion was stretching jerseys too, and they weren't calling that. So then I was thinking, like, okay, well, maybe this ref crew is going to let him play. And then those stupid defensive holding calls started coming in every single time we stopped them.
Every third down.
Yep.
Saran, there was that one on Saran. Yeah, that it looked like it. Any other one, they either didn't show it or it was like piddly. And I think that offensive pass interference on Kelsey was like, sorry. That was like the sorry call for the Bills. But I don't know, man. Either let them play or don't. Just call it the same. You know what I mean? And that tripping call, that is like egregious. That is like, you just chant from the top of your lungs about QB safety, and the head ref is standing right there and
looking at
it. Misses that. That's 15 yards. That's a first down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and at that point of the game, every single one of us in this live stream and on this live stream were like, what the hell is going on? Like, you know, you see Josh Allen doing his best TikTok dance of a guy tripping you, you know. Yeah. We got Joey Hatch. What's up, brother?
What's happening?
Joey?
Winner of the Tremaine Edmonds helmet from last week's giveaway.
Sent that out today. So it should be coming to your place pretty shortly there, Joey.
We got Paul Rossi. What's up, Big Paul?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
Scott, what up? You got anything else on this defense, man? I mean, there's a ton to talk about. I gotta think you got something to say about
Leslie Frazier.
Not Leslie Frazier. It's probably, we're going to have a discussion about this probably later on in the show about the MVPs. But the open field tackles, the tight end coverages, the Leslie Frazier has so much trust in Matt Milano that it is nuts. To have him cover a running back and it looked like it was zero coverage, which was man to man. There was no one over there on a handful of times, and he was able to his tackling technique is so on. After last year, after his injury coming back, this guy has been spot on. No, he's becoming not just the #1 covering linebacker in the league, but the #1 outside linebacker in the NFL right now. And
Absolutely.
I'll put his numbers against anybody, put his tackling percentages against anybody. And the fact that he's on this #1 defense in the NFL, arguably the best defensive player in the NFL. I said it.
He is. Yeah, you get no argument from me. That dude, if he, it'll be interesting to see what the Pro Bowl nods are this season after having the #1 defense last year and not one Pro Bowler on the team, right? Mm-hmm. That dude, 100%. Like, and I think Tremaine Edmonds is playing his ass off. This is the best season of play I've ever seen from Tremaine Edmonds. Matt Milano, if he does not go to the Pro Bowl, Tremaine Edmonds should not be in the Pro Bowl. Like, Matt Milano, to me, is playing, albeit different, at a higher spot than Tremaine, not by much, and Tremaine is playing the best season he's ever played. Mm-hmm. So I'm not trying to dog. I don't know if that translated. I'm really not trying to dog Tremaine, but I just think Milano is out of his mind right now. He's flying.
You're nailing it. Yeah, you're nailing it. I mean, Tremaine Edmonds' responsibility at the middle linebackers to hope that make sure that defense is lined up right, to make sure the calls are right, And we've seen that his responsibility is keeping that middle shut down during the run and the pass. Now, where Matt Milano comes in is he's a Swiss Army knife. You want him to go in and hit the quarterback. He had 2 quarterback hits, sideline to sideline. You're asking him to chase down running backs and receivers that are making catches. He's making the tackles. So he's doing everything that he's supposed to do. And Tremaine Edmonds is doing everything he's supposed to do. 2 different positions, but they're side by side doing it. And that's what's making it so magical is they're playing off each other excellent.
And you can credit that to the amount of years they played with one another. I said it last week on the show, is when they both drop back and they have a zone coverage within the middle of the field, they are passing linebackers, tight ends, or wide receivers, tight ends, or running backs off to each other without so much as making a noise. They just trust that one another is going to be there. They're so dialed into Leslie Frazier's defense that those two complement each other so well that you almost have to sign Tremaine Edmonds to keep this duo alive for the next 4 or 5 years.
We said it last season. Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds are as important as Poyer and Hyde to this defense as a tandem. They complement each other perfectly. And we were saying that last year when there was questions about linebacker play, especially on Edmonds' side. This year, they are both playing very well, and it's insane. Did you guys see that one breakdown of when the Bills showed all-out blitz? Mahomes pointed to Kelsey. It's on Twitter. You can find Dan Orlovsky or whatever. He broke it down. Mahomes pointed at Kelsey thinking that it was going to be a blitz, which moved him inside. Literally, he took one step inside to help block. Tremaine Edmonds hit his helmet. You see everybody else on the field communicating to each other. Okay, they think this is all out. We're not. We're covering. They fall back, only rush 3, and it was like just a killer play, like a stop for a short gain, insane. Like the bang bang of all that, like a finger point and a step, and everybody knew what to do. And just the film study, the prep. Leslie Frazier is a goddamn genius, man. He's a wizard. Like, and this defense is so comfortable with each other. It's just insane. And again, that whole secondary knew what to do. You know, You got Hamlin in there. You got Kyer. You got, I don't know if it was Benford at that time or not, but it was nuts. Just nuts to see, man. They are a well-oiled machine right now.
And they disguise everything. Take a look at the last play of the interception by Taron Johnson. They disguised the play that made Patrick Mahomes, even after dropping back into the pocket and rolling out, still think that they were in man defense. They were actually in a zone defense. Taron Johnson was able to keep his eyes up on the quarterback, not having to watch a wide receiver where he would otherwise in a man defense, make that jump to jump that pattern and intercept that ball. The whole disguise, even during a play, is outrageous, and it's all coming back to Leslie Frazier's style and that defense just trusting that what he's going to call is going to work. And I thought that was, and you know what's funny, Swank and Jarrod? You didn't hear the announcers all praising Patrick Mahomes' sidearm throw at that point, did you?
No. It's a wonderful thing. If you watch that video, Swank, I know exactly what video you're talking about, but the Taron Johnson one, you see him jumping that pattern before Mahomes even takes his second pump. So that was perfect. And I don't know if you guys ever seen National Geographic when you see the birds swimming together and it looks like a cloud or fish doing it. That video of that defense not blitzing looked exactly like that because, like you said, steps, helmet tap, communication, and then the defense went, ooh. It was just.
Oh, there was another video where, God, I think it was Kyer. I don't know who the corner was that was trailing that same play. The cornerback, maybe it was Hamlin. It might have been Hamlin, actually, that was following the receiver that Mahomes was trying to get it to. He pointed at Mahomes to let Taron know that the ball was coming to his guy, and that's when Taron cut in front of him. Like, it is insane. The level of communication that these dudes have, and maybe I'm just, like, completely oblivious, like 39 years of being a Bills fan, and I've never seen this. And now people are pointing it out, and it is like, holy Jesus. Like, these dudes just know. They know everything. And God, it's so good to be a Bills fan.
Well, it's one of those things when you're playing an elite team like the Chiefs. I mean, some of these things happen mistakes when you're playing the mediocrity teams, and I mean they're all NFL players. I'll give you that. But when you start beating teams that you should beat and you get these turnovers, that's one thing. But when you start picking apart the film study and getting these kind of turnovers, 2 interceptions by Mahomes, but it's not like by accident. It's a strategic looking defensive play that made Mahomes do what he had to do and then throw the ball where he had to throw it, and we still had someone there. It's almost like the defense is dictating what the offense should be doing, and that's just everything working together as far as coordinator and players go.
Yeah, that's it's just next level. It's Inception, you know.
Yep,
great movie.
It's nuts. Well, we got to talk about one more group here. That freaking specifically, and not to point anybody out on this line, but is everybody just so happy that we got Von Miller right now? like if did Brandon Beane have like one of those like fortune teller globes, you know, that just saw like the perfect dude for the perfect situation with the perfect personality to like come in here and do exactly that when you need it to happen, because that is who that dude is. I saw somebody else in the comments earlier saying Stephon Diggs went up to him like before that last drive and said, finish this, you know, and he did. You know, that's the whole reason that interception happened. And God, that the sacks. And one of the things I love about Vaughn has a very loud, amazing personality. And you can tell in games, when games are like going their way and they're up by like 2 scores and he sacks a quarterback, he's like, you know, power crawling across the field. He's running around pretending like, what, who, where, you know. That game, none of that.
Mm-mm.
He smacked him and he ran to the sideline, you know. And it's all in the moment. It's know your audience, know where you're at. Okay, it's not time to do that. It's time to get off the field and let's go, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, I respect that about him. Like, you know, time and place. It's all time and place. And that dude is a game wrecker, you know. Anybody who thought he's too old, it's too much money, nope. This dude is just, it's all
about that timing. Like you said, WGR 550 was talking about today. It's not the fact that he got 2 sacks.
Yeah.
It's when he got them. Like if he would have got those in any other play, first or second down, Mahomes still had another play to potentially get a first down. These are all, the sacks were on 3rd down, and him chasing down Mahomes when he was scrambling the outside was on 3rd down.
Yeah.
These are all key plays in the momentum of the game, and he's there for that. Milano, Edmonds, all these other guys can play those 1st and 2nd down stops, but we got Von Miller to close it out.
And Swank, you mentioned Bean. All those names we heard in the preseason, Chandler Jones, I'll include. All those names, and Von Miller was a surprise.
Yeah.
Why Von Miller? That's an awesome pick. We love that pick, but no one had him on the radar. Bean did the whole time, and that's the exact reason why. The guy split snaps the whole season. I'm looking at right now 78% of the snaps against the Chiefs. So they are bringing him in when it has to be done. Big games like the Chiefs game, he's going to get his snaps and he's going to produce. Love seeing that. And that's, like I said before, all those names that the Bills fans wanted the Bills to get in the offseason, Bean picked the guy that's going to be the most effective and the guy that can teach the team the most and the guy that's potentially going to be here for a while chasing that Bruce Smith record.
Chandler Jones, who cares?
Yep.
You know, remember, everybody wanted him. Rob Mullen, really quick. And to your point, Swank, we are using Miller properly in rotation at defensive end instead of an every down outside linebacker. DE keeps him fresh at 32 years of age for the long term. I absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm.
To what my boy Scott said here, yes, that's the plan throughout the season. These games, it's very obvious he is playing more snaps than he's going to play against the Jets, or he's going to play, you know, against the Steelers or whatever. I think they're keeping him fresh for the long term because they have a very good like health department, whatever. Their medical staff is amazing there.
Yep.
And they know how to do it because he's like a rabid dog, man. He wants to be out there 100% of the time. But the longevity, if you really want to stretch that contract and get the most out of him, hell yeah, man. I think they're working it perfect. And I think, yeah, keep him at 50% of the snaps. And then, like I said, release the dogs. You playing the Chiefs? He's out
Keep
there
him wanting
now.
more.
Yeah,
Keep him wanting more.
So.
And I love that picture that they snapped of Diggs looking at Von Miller. I do not know if that's the incidents or the time when he did say finish this, but with that story and seeing that image of Stephon Diggs with his face, straight face, stone cold face, looking at Von Miller saying, "This is why you're here, my friend.
Yeah.
Get her done." That just gives me goosebumps. And they know that. And that's, oh man, dangerous. Bad things, man.
Our boy Greg is wondering if we can run the table and win out.
Take a look at the history of our after our bye weeks.
Yeah, we can.
It's big time potential.
The big thing that might hold against that would be if we're 13-1 or 14-1 going the last 2 games of the season. So that might play a factor. And if we have something locked up by then too, that might play a huge factor. One of the big things on Twitter that I've noticed about, and I expected this last week, that's why I said it, is the Kansas City Chiefs fans are going to be like, yeah, but you can't beat us in the playoffs, right? This game wasn't that important. And I just want to let everybody know that not only did our players show up and play well, but one of the most important aspects of this game that we saw was our coaches outcoached Andy Reid and his team. We went for it on 4th down at the 50-yard line, didn't get it because he knew that our defense could more than likely hold that defense. We clocked the ball when we needed to. We held on to possession when we needed to. We blitzed when we outcoached them this game. So we're taking the next step, and I love it.
And we still left 14 to 20 points on the board. I'm just saying, off the board.
Real quick. Also, I love your product placement with the 24/7 logo on your drink vessel there, Jared. That was great.
Did I do that?
If anybody listens to WGR, which I'm sure some of you do or whatever, and I know there's like up and down things, like I enjoy it, but I also have a job that like lets me just have an earbud in and listen to Bills radio all day, especially after a big win like this. It's awesome. Jeremy White he's like a statistical nerd, right? Like the analytics, when to go for it on 4th down, when to kick it, blah, blah, blah. It's a big thing. It's always been a big thing throughout the drought with like Doug Marrone kicking it on, the opposing team's side of the 50. Like just things that like an aggressive team or a smart team wouldn't do, right? In situations, there's I think, Computer Cowboy, something like that on Twitter. He puts out every week statistically where coaches are as far as going for it or not going for it when they're supposed to, and the analytics say they should, right? In those situations, the Bills this season, can you guess what percentage they're at as far as the right decisions that they've made for going for it or not going for it?
88.
You got a guess, Scott?
As far as going for it when they shouldn't?
Making the right
choice and either going for it or not going, either going for it or kicking it. So based on the analytics, what is
I'm
the
going
right
low.
call?
I'm going a low percentage because I feel like they're going for things that they probably shouldn't analytically and getting it.
Interesting. 100%.
And by low, I meant
right
0%,
choice.
100%.
Every single decision, every single decision that they've made analytically has been the correct decision in that scenario in that time. That is insane. 6 games, which can we say like at least 4 of them were like, I mean, every game's big. 4 of them against like good opponents that were like meaningful, tough games. Like 100% of the times, the analytics are saying that the coach is making the right decision whether to go for it or not.
There you go, Bills Mafia.
Yeah, that includes like when they don't make it down on, when they're going for 4th and goal, and that whatever, they still made the right choice because the percentages in the analytics said it. I just thought that was super interesting, and I think that's something that would not have happened in years past. And maybe, Rob, you can chime in on this too. I think the coaching of this team has been up in the air a little bit these last 2 seasons as far as like challenges and stupid stuff like that. And I think people also tend to forget like where we were at before McDermott came here. And I will never forget. This dude can coach here. I don't care. He's Belichick in my mind. He can coach until he's old and nimble and, you know, there's like 5 guys on the team and he doesn't care. Like, I don't care. Like, he can coach forever. And the deal was like, you know, decisions, coaching decisions, getting in the ear from the people up in the booth or whatever. And I got to say, man, this year you can't say that about McDermott. The dude's done everything right, you know. And to go back just one step further quickly, the squib didn't work in the game. Squib kick didn't work. I know that there was a little bit of time difference there, you know, and they say, well, you know, you would have had like 3 more seconds, whatever, 4 more seconds, or less seconds. Same result, you know.
Go go.
So, anyway, does that pretty much put a bow on this game?
That puts a huge, nice little bow on this game.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
telling you what. Oh, that's such an awesome win. Swank, Jarrod, and I, we've always talked about blowouts. We'll watch a blowout every week, and it's not the kind of game you want to watch until you know what the ending is.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful game. It's a game that needed to happen. Bills fans loved it. Kansas City fans did not love it, but 90% of the fans that watched that game at 425 that were not Bills fans absolutely got a show and a wonderful, wonderful showcase of the 2 best teams in the NFL, I believe.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It was a great time, you know, and looking back, it was so much fun, but Jesus, watching that game, my wife and I were just yelling at the TV, and I was standing up for a while. It was like, it reminded me of that Baltimore game, or the Chiefs game last year, but like the Baltimore game when Taryn like picked it off, the pick 6 in the playoffs, and I'm just like, I couldn't sit, you know, and it was the same thing with this. And to your point too, Jerry, like with all these fans talking about like it doesn't matter, blah blah blah, this is your Super Bowl. It does matter. It's a huge AFC win. You're talking about seedings. You're talking about home field advantage. Talk to me in January. I'm gonna say everybody's saying like, oh, we'll see them in January, man. I'm gonna say I don't think we are.
Right, I had that thought too.
I don't think like either it's gonna be too far separated or it's gonna be too close. And I think that the Chiefs aren't built right now to make it as far as the Bills are. And I hope I'm right.
I think the Kansas City loss to the Indianapolis Colts makes me believe that if the Bills win the first round a bye week, the Chiefs will have to play 2 games to meet them for the AFC Championship, and they can easily be beat by any of those teams that make the playoffs. The Indianapolis Colts game will tell you. We'll help you with that.
Hey, look at the Bengals this year. And then look at where they were at last year, and they beat them. You know, anything can happen any given Sunday, blah, blah, blah. It seems like they are like the definition of playing down to whatever team they're playing to. You know what I mean? Like, how do you lose that Colts game, but then you play us so tight? You know? It doesn't make sense to me. And maybe it's game plan, and maybe it's whatever, but.
Getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, that's my boy Brett Thomason. What's up, Brett? Brother Brett. We got some discussion in there talking about Christian McCaffrey or Odell Beckham. Who did I say was hitting the block right before we came on, Scott?
Oh,
God, there's one of those guys. Claypool. Chase Claypool, they're saying, could be a trade deadline.
And I agree with you, Swank. I'd rather take Claypool over OBJ.
I would take Claypool over OBJ for sure.
Agree.
All right, guys, we're going to get on to some Rattle the Reads, a little trivia segment that we do every week, where I try to stump these 2 beautiful son of a bitches. And, you know, it's a pretty good time.
It was a good time. And thank you guys for participating. The conversation's going on like crazy.
Oh, hell yeah.
Eric, we know we're not getting Claypool. The Pittsburgh Steelers fan doesn't show up until something's mentioned about the Steelers.
Doesn't say one thing until we talk about how we're going to take Claypool away from him for like a 6th round pick or something.
Hi, Eric.
I just can't believe they're not utilizing him more.
I know. I guess when like you know, I don't know. You keep going between like your rookie quarterback and Mitch Trubisky. You know, who knows?
You're Bursky.
But you guys did win. Beat Brady. Can't shake that.
Can't shake that.
All right, so it seems like we have a lot of fantasy players in this here program. You know, Jarrod notwithstanding. You know, I won 24/7 league. How'd you do, Scott?
I won.
Nice.
Yep.
So you know, and I know a bunch of you guys are in on that out there. So I thought in the spirit of fantasy sports, this week's Rattle the Reads would be a list of the top 10 scoring PPR leaders in the NFL and fantasy football.
Like PPR?
PPR league, 1 point per reception. Well, who are the top 10 players with the most fantasy points, according to PPR? Now, if you would like, I could give you at least how it's split, because I would have assumed that this list was like 9 quarterbacks and 1 wide receiver, but it is not. So I could give you how many quarterbacks, wide receivers if you want, or you guys can just go into it.
Josh Allen's got to be leading them all.
Josh
touchdown.
Allen is number 1, you know, and that's what I try to do with these lists, is give you a little bit of an easy first one. It's usually a Bill. You know.
Well, offensive stats or touchdowns. I mean, it's easy to pick Josh Allen as one of the top ones.
Diggs got to be in there.
Diggs is number 3. Josh Allen has 177 points, according to PPR rules. And Stephon Diggs has 150.6 points.
Something we've been hearing a lot and seeing a lot lately is Waddle and Tyreek Hill. They got to be in there, right? They're the leading receivers in the league.
Waddle is not on this list. Tyreek Hill is. He's number 8 with 133.9.
And can I clarify something? We got a lot of Miami Dolphins fans posting up stats of how Waddle and Hill are the number 1 wide receiver duo in the league. Statistically, yes. But when your starting wide receivers sit 2 fourth-quarter games and one of them misses 3 games, then you can come and talk about the Buffalo Bills only being behind you by 111 yards. Boom. Mic drop. Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson is number 2. So now we got 1, Josh Allen, 2, Lamar Jackson, number 3, Stephon Diggs. Lamar is at 152.2 for PPR standings. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 8. We're looking for number 4 right now.
Is Geno Smith, does he make the break here?
Geno Smith does not, my friend. But
he's doing good, Jared. But
he did make a non-PPR, I believe. He did make that list. I looked at a couple different, didn't know what I wanted to do. I think most people do PPRs. I thought it was more exciting. Plus, Diggs was on the PPR one, so I wanted.
I want to say, Swank, that the Giants are actually loving the fact that this guy's come back alive, Saquon Barkley, and it's weird to see Dable actually run the ball, but he's doing a good job over there as a coordinator. Saquon Barkley, one of them.
I'm going to tell you 3 things. I'm going to tell you Saquon Barkley has 124 PPR points. I'm going to tell you he's a running back for the New York Giants, and I'm going to tell you he's not on this list. He's number 12.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
How about Chubb? Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb is also not on this list.
Damn.
He's number 13 at 119.
Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he's
number 5, 147.9. You were looking for number 4.
Could be a lot PPR. Can you give us a position? Oh,
I'll give you a position if you want.
No, is it Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes is number 6, underneath Jalen Hurts, interestingly enough, by 1.1 points. He's at 146.8. Jalen's at 147.9.
Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler's number 7.
He's not 4. Okay.
Running back, 138. Do you want position for number 4? Or you want to keep?
Yeah,
you guys are doing
go ahead.
good. You're doing good.
Go ahead. Go position.
He's a wide receiver. We've played him.
So it's got to be.
I was gonna say, was it Philly's wide receiver? But we've played him, so it's got to be Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. There you have it.
You go. Okay.
So
And now we need 2 more, right?
Yes. You're just looking for 9 and
9
10.
and 10.
No, I can give you positions on these, or you can guess.
I don't know the exact numbers, so I'm gonna go a tight end, either Mark Andrews or Kelsey.
Right?
Kelsey's number 11 at 131. Mark Andrews
Where's-
is number 16 at 114.8.
Oh, okay. Because I know he's tearing it up.
He is.
We're
Hey,
missing one.
What position is number
You're missing
9?
2. You're missing 9 and 10. I'm not going to tell you what specifically 9 or 10's positions are, but I will tell you that you are looking for a quarterback and a wide receiver.
Trevor Lawrence in there?
You don't play fantasy.
Joe. You don't play. Joe Burrow just kicked ass this week.
Joe
man.
Burrow, number 9.
300 passing yards. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And
Oh,
then the guy,
Mitch Trubisky?
no, I got it. I figured it out. I think.
got it?
I actually traded him away because he was started off hot and dwindled. What's his name?
Uh-oh.
Kirk Cousins.
You had it and you lost
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
So your top 10 PPR leaders thus far into Week 6 are Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Austin Eckler, Tyreek Hill, Joe Burrow, and Justin Jefferson. And you can thank Mrs. Sarah Swank for this top 10 Rattle the Reads list.
Thank you.
Yeah, she killed it on that one.
I'm just curious. Where's Devontae Smith in there?
You know, I screenshotted it. I only have till 16, and he is not
That's
on
okay.
there. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
It's
Okay.
from fantasypros.com, though.
AJ Brown's doing better than he is, so I think he might be higher up. But either way, we did all right.
Yeah. Everybody killed it in the comments, too. Harold Fuller says Reggie Gilliam.
He had a heck of a game, too.
You know, man, dude. It was great.
Hey, he had a hell of a game, though. He had like 3 catches for like 20 yards.
Yeah.
Big time catches for first downs. That was awesome to see Reggie getting involved.
Hell yeah. All right, boys. That was fun. Thanks for everybody that participated. Still killing it with, up in the high 20s over here on Facebook. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget that you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitters for all of us individually. There's a lot of stuff. Just search us. You got it. What's up, Jake? Jake Cornball says, I have 2 of those guys on my fantasy team. Then you're killing it, dude.
See, the best thing we did in our fantasy league is we went to auction, and Jake is one of those guys that he's smart. He's a smart guy, Jake. I'm giving you a compliment here. But he knows how to get manage things, like biggest bang for the buck. He'll drop a load $150 out of 200 on Josh Allen, but because he gets 90 points from him, he'll ride him the whole season and win championships. I mean, that's just the way it is. Love you, Jake. Happy birthday. We just recently this Saturday had a birthday party for all our friends turned 40. We had a good old time, so happy birthday.
I'm sorry
buddy.
I missed it, man. I really wanted to be there.
Scott got caught up with a couple double IPAs that he thought were a single banger, but he's drinking the 10s and 11s. He's a little sloppy.
Reinvention Brewing Company, where we had our regular season Rager this year. This place had their middle finger IPA, Swank, and I thought I was drinking just the single IPA.
Yeah.
So I had a little buzz after my first. I went up for the second one. I was like, these ones, I must have not had as much food as I thought. And the guy looked at me, Mr. Cheney looked at me and said, these are the doubles. They're 10. So I was like, oh, okay. I'll take 2.
Double.
Reinvention Brewing Company, guys. If you're in the Shortsville, Manchester area or Finger Lakes area, hit them up. They have such a variety of brewhas that'll tickle your fancy.
Was it Reinvention or was it in Phelps?
It was Reinvention Brewing that the beer was. The beer was.
They
Oh,
had the beer
okay.
itself,
They had
yeah.
the beer there at Phelps.
Gotcha.
Yeah, also where we held the Rager, where we are holding the Rager 3 in 2023. And please,
Boom.
mark it on your calendars. I mean, we don't have a date yet, but mark it on your calendars. It's in September.
Never
For
too
sure.
early.
All right. Well, we wanted to do. Geez, it's getting late. We might have to skip one of these things here. Let's
You're the
hold
boss.
off. Huh?
You're the boss.
Well, it's 8:54.
Tony
So-
Danza.
We were going to do our MVPs thus far before the bye, and we were going to rank the AFC teams. So I think
can make
what
it
we're gonna
fast.
I don't think we're going to do it in 6 minutes. I know you boys. I think we're going to rank the AFC teams next week. We'll do that before we start talking about Green Bay in episode 32 of the Kagan Report.
There you go. We got half a show to waste then, too.
Hell
So
yeah.
there we go.
So what we wanted to do real quick, and please chime in, we wanted to do, each of us are going to do one offensive MVP this far into the season and one defensive MVP this far into the season. and we'll talk a little bit about that player and their contributions and why we think they should be. Let's start with offense, and let's start down south with my boy Scooter Magooter. Who is your offensive MVP thus far heading into the bye?
You guys are going to kill me for this. We got 3 people that are going to vote for this. Different guys. Obviously, there's the obvious, but I'm going to go with a guy that is not part of that front 5 blocking. He's the one standing next to Josh Allen while he's passing the ball. Top 5 rated running back pass blockers in the league in the last couple of years, still averaging his 4.5 yards to carry. If there's not an obvious call like a dive or the defensive end makes an amazing play to stop him in the backfield, Devin Singletary is making the most of his opportunities. We saw what he could do with 17 carries. The unsung hero, quiet, doing what he's got to do to make it so the defenses still have to respect the run and maybe bring 2 more people instead of 1 because he picks up the blitz so well. Mine's Devin Singletary. It's the little things, guys, and I think he does the little things fantastic, and I'm going with him for sure.
Damn, this is the Devin Singletary motor show, man. That's what I should write in the comments. All right, so motor. I think you glossed over the obvious. I appreciate you leaving some meat on the bone. Jerry, who do you got? You're just gonna vulture it in, or are you gonna go motor too?
I agree fully with Scott with motor, but I'm gonna venture off a little bit just because I had motor set up. But no, I think you have to go with my MVP is gonna be. Oh gosh, do we go with Josh Allen?
Yeah, go
do it.
Over 1900 passing yards.
Should I say?
I mean, he's only leading the team in rushing by 1 yard. Devin Singletary's slowly creeping up, 256 to 257. His yards per game is 300 yards per game. He's got a lot more touchdown passes than he does interceptions. Those are just stats.
Yeah.
When you're talking about players, especially when you compare players, I hate doing it. And is Mahomes better than Allen? Is Allen better than Mahomes? Watch the game because you can throw all the stats out there in the world, but if you simply just watch the game and see how these players play on the field, there is something special about Josh Allen. He's the front runner for the MVP for the league this year. A question I was going to ask you guys because all this Mahomes versus Allen talk was if you were to take Mahomes or Allen and put them on all other 31 teams, what quarterback would be better if they had one game with each team? And my thought would be it'd be Allen because he's got the dog in him. Like Ryan Thomas said this weekend on Sunday, I thought that was the greatest thing. He's got that dog in him all the time. He is a scheme player, but he also goes out there and 110% every damn play and tries to win that game. Mahomes is over there with Andy Reid, a great offensive coordinator, minded coach, and he's got all the little trick plays. And I think Mahomes is successful in that scheme with him. I don't think he would do as well on other teams where I think Allen would succeed in any team he plays for. But look at the numbers. If you're looking straight numbers in heart, Allen's the MVP of that offense.
Can I interject real quick, Swank?
Sure.
Joey Hatch, I love you to death, man. And your comment, if Motor is doing so well, how come they're trying to bring in McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley? I can tell you this much for free. Until I see it happen, it's all about smokescreen. If anybody's interested, Bean is always smokescreening. I can tell you right now, McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley have an offense that is designed around them. That's why they're given opportunities. That's why they're scoring touchdowns. That's why they get the yards. Our offense is designed around Gabriel Davis, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, and Singletary is a piece. The piece of that puzzle that needs to be there for them to be so successful is Devin Singletary. The pass blocking, the 4.5 yards, 4.6 yards career that he averages makes him the number one running back that the Buffalo Bills has right now and have to think about keeping next year, which I obviously think that they should do. It would be a smart move. He won't cost much. Both of those guys are going to put a cap way over where we can afford some of these contracts. So I'm going to argue with that. Joey Hatch, I love you to death, man, but they're not going after those guys. He's the answer there in Buffalo, Singletary.
Name, I'm over the track. Yeah, I said it. What you need to do is get back to.
Oh, the first I said it in a couple of weeks. Joey, we love you. He says, because I think Singletary is doing just fine and we don't need to bring another running back in.
I agree.
So there's the second half of his comment, bro.
Damn it. No, Joey's got a bunch of pages out there. Join those pages. Bills,
yeah.
Josh Allen's Bills Mafia. He's got a handful of them. Join them up. They're just as fun as our pages, so hit them up for sure.
Well, yeah. Since we did the I said it, we might as well.
Here we go, folks. We're in overtime.
That's right, 24/7 Buff Pandemonium. We are in overtime. It is after 9 o'clock p.m. And we're going to run through the rest of these MVPs, and then we're going to get. So, my offensive MVP, who is not Motor Singletary, and who unfortunately cannot be Josh Allen, because Jerry took that low-hanging fruit there, the little softball that he was struggling with there for a second.
Did you expect anything other than that, Swank?
No.
You took Devin from me.
I'm going to tell you, there's two guys floating in my head that could be the last. And I'm also going to tell you guys, I am going to take the first round of defensive MVP and then go backwards around the circle. So, Scott, you're going to get stuck with the one of 11 like it could be. Pandemonium, help me out here a little bit, because I think you could very easily say Mitch Morse. I think that's an unsung hero on this offense, and I think we saw what this line looked like when he was not there. He's a born leader. He's done a hell of a job. But the guy I'm going to go for, the guy I love, the guy I've been ringing the bell for all year, which is it's insane to me that you still have to ring a bell for this guy, Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is the guy that gets it done in this offense. A playmaker that comes through at the bitter end. He will save an offensive game. If Josh Allen isn't doing it, Stephon Diggs is doing it, or they're both doing it. That's usually the scenario, right? One can't do it without the other. Well, I guess Allen can do it without Diggs. But regardless, Stephon Diggs, his confidence, his leadership, his sacrifice, he'll go for it and do it and make it happen, and he'll keep you amped on the backside of things with your head up. I think the dude is a born leader. I still can't believe that the Vikings ever thought that this dude was a cancer in their locker room. He's just a perfect fit. I don't know if any of you guys saw this interview that he did with Vaughn. Steph literally thinks that Josh was sent from God to him. Like, that is not a lie. He told Von Miller that he thinks that this is the quarterback God wanted him to be with.
It happens.
And it's just like, when you hear him talk about it, it's like, oh my God, like, this dude really, like, he believes it. He believes that his time was done in Minnesota, and he's like, let me check out Buffalo and see what's happening over there. And he hooked up with Josh, and it's just been instant chemistry, I don't know. Diggs the man, and I'm so glad he's a Buffalo Bill.
Put it in perspective, Swank. He's on pace for he's pushing 150 catches for 2,000 yards this year.
Let's do it.
And 20 touchdowns.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Unheard of.
Now,
That's what I was trying to
switching
look
over
up.
to the defensive side, trying to rush this along a little bit. My defensive MVP, you could pick so many, I feel like. It'd be real easy to lean towards that safety room, that long 1,500-mile drive. I'm going to leave that to somebody else, and I'm going to go with the low-hanging fruit. And I'm going to tell you, the accusation that you made in this offseason, the big swing that you made for the old guy, the guy that's the dog, the closer, Mr. Von Miller. That dude.
Fucking A right, doggy.
That dude is the MVP of the defense. And he would not accept it if you said that to him. He would not let you say you are the MVP. He said, no. This unit is the MVP. And that is what I love about him. Because not only is he a dude that is teaching all the other people around him to be dogs and to be that intense, methodical player that he is, and all the moves and all the culture and, oh God, the personality and just everything about him is 100% as advertised. He is not old.
No.
He is not old. And the Bills know how to use him, and they know when to let the chain loose, and they know when to hold back a little bit. But he just is a game wrecker, man. And holy shit, man. You can't say enough about the guy. He's amazing. How many times this last weekend? I mean, how many times in the first 6 games? But how many times this last weekend can you be like, oh my God, Von Miller again? If he's not directly affecting a play, he's still affecting a play. And it's insane. Never seen anything like it.
Top 3 in a lot of those defensive pressures, defensive quarterback hits, and obviously sacks at 32 years old. Crazy.
Hell yeah.
He's got the move still, too. It's not like it's lucky.
No.
And he's
dipping, he's spinning.
setting people up. He's setting people up, too. He's still got it, man.
That pressure, the last pressure for the interception, going outside on this guy, go inside. You baited him into that just to save it for that moment. Do you guys realize what kind of level you got to be on in the National Football League? What kind of stud you have to be in to, like, actually realize that you're lulling this dude into muscle memory over the course of 4 hours, and then all of a sudden the one time that you choose to go inside is that crucial moment where that guy has to think about it for half a second, and you're just too much of a problem. Like,
Man,
he can't handle it. And he didn't even have to he didn't have to put a hand on Patrick Mahomes.
Nope.
He just had to hurry him.
He knew Milano was coming over.
Just let
the top.
him know I'm there. Just
That's
let
it.
him know I'm there.
Oh, God.
You're right, Swank. It's something else to have just the audacity to know that you can play someone for 2 plays, knowing what the end result's going to be. I mean, he's got it figured out. He's obviously got the longevity in the league, the health, and the know-how and the study to figure all that stuff out. It's just nuts. It's just nuts.
So Big Von, that's most Von player. Going right next door, Jerry, who you got?
I'm going to go with Mr. Tremaine Edmonds in the middle. Without
knew you were going there.
I mean, he's even one. He was held out a game. Okay, yeah, he was held out a game. I think it was more because they're playing the Steelers and they're just trying to get him healthy to come back to play against his KC offense. But he's leading the team in tackles. You know, he's right up there. He's not doing mind-blowing tackles like the KC guy that has 60 already, but he's my most improved and my MVP. He's locking down that middle. He's preventing the passes down the middle. He knows how to play with his teammates, which is another attribute that goes calculated in stat lines. At the beginning of the year, a lot of people were against Tremaine Edmonds or didn't have high praise for him because he wasn't making the splash plays. Well, I'll tell you why. I think the Bills are the number 1 in turnovers for this defense, and he doesn't need to be the one getting them. He's helping his teammates get them. Tip balls, putting quarterbacks in position where they got to throw the ball at different areas. So Tremaine Edmonds, keep it up. Keep up the good work. You're my MVP, bud.
Jared, you've said it before. I mean, the thing about Tremaine Edmonds is he's not always making the splash plays. He's allowing all the other 10 the ability to make the splash plays. The guy plays a full middle zone and takes away not only the area he's covering, but because he's so tall and his arms are so long, he takes 10 yards behind him away. So that makes it easy for our safeties to actually split in those 2 zones. And it's something that Tremaine Edmonds, he's been doing all along, but he's starting to master it in perfect time for a contract year, right? Nick Bolton is the linebacker you're thinking about for the Chiefs. And he's a rookie last year out of Missouri. He's doing a great job this year. My defensive MVP, I said it earlier, it's the tackling machine in Matt Milano. He's only 4 behind Edmonds as far as tackling goes, but Edmonds has a responsibility. Milano has a responsibility, and they both understand each other's jobs. That's why they're both so successful. Milano's open field tackles this year is simply amazing. I haven't checked out his tackling percentage, but it's got to be one of the top in the league. He creates pressure when he has to. He wreaks havoc. If he's not sacking the quarterback, he's manhandling that running back that's trying to pick him up and creating a disturbance in the pocket, making whoever has to roll out. So Matt Milano is my defensive MVP to the point where I think he's one of the most definitely top 5 outside linebackers in the 4-3 defense in the league. Obviously, those 3-4 outside linebackers are going to get the most credit because they're the ones that get in the sacks. They're the ones voted in the Pro Bowl. But if you're going to pick a 4-3 outside linebacker, a nickel linebacker, opposite side of the main middle linebacker, it's definitely Matt Milano. Tackles, pass defenses, coverage percentage, being able to cover a wide receiver coming across the middle and hanging out with him and deflecting balls. It's Matt Milano for me. And if you were to take you hate to say this. If you were to take Von Miller, I can't say that. I'm not going to say
Don't say it.
You can't take anyone out of the game and have Matt Milano be the one that's a better one. They complement each other so well that all 11 could be MVPs because they're all doing their job, even the rookies. And it's just amazing to see. Very rare. I don't think it's ever happened that in the NFL that you had the number one offense in the league and the number one defense in the league.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm assuming that it went around Vaughn, Tremaine, Milano, right? That's what everyone. It's easy. It's really easy. And this is kind of why when Jerry suggested doing this exercise, I was like, Like, I mean, there's obvious ones, but then if you narrow it down, it's like, who do you pick after that? You know what I mean? And, so we're talking like we all pick linebackers officially on the roster, right?
Right.
But, God, you know how much better I felt that Jordan Poyer was in the offense or in the defense this last weekend? A lot better, And, God, like Kyer Elam, man, I know he had a rough week last week. 2 picks, rookie, back-to-back, 2 weeks in a row, 2 picks. This last one was crucial. Darren Johnson, are you kidding me? That dude very easily could be in this any of these guys. It's just and I've seen Rousseau, Jordan Phillips, like at Oliver now that he's back. There's just so much. Shaq Lawson was getting in the mix pretty heavy last on Sunday. It's just, I don't know. It's exciting. It's so exciting. It's so cool to have these kind of conversations because we couldn't for so many years. You wouldn't be able to have this kind of conversation. You'd be like,
And why this defense works is because everyone's sticking to the responsibilities, and you can make plays when there's somebody in the right position behind you, in front of you, left or right of you that's going to be in their spot. So if it comes to you and your number's called where you have to fill that gap and stop that run, it's easy to do when the guys around you are doing their job.
Yep.
That's what this defense is doing. They're crisp.
Doug says Hamlin is suspect, missed several tackles. I'll say, Doug, he's still kind of new in this defense. I know he's been in and out, but to me, it's like similar to like McKenzie almost, where like the role he's being asked to play, most of the time you wouldn't even know that he's doing a great job, and then there's like these couple times where he misses tackles, he does whatever. And we talked about it a little bit last week, and I'd said that like I was surprised that Hamlin got the nod over Johnson. I think Rob corrected me a little bit in saying that like Hamlin is more Hyde's backup, Johnson's more Poyer's backup. I don't know. I think I love when he puts the hammer on somebody. When he really tackles somebody, Hamlin is a badass, and that's something that followed him from college. He's one of those dudes that will just lay you out and not care, and I love that kind of grit to a guy. I think it's all just reps at this point. I mean, I think he does a pretty decent job. He hasn't messed up horribly, I wouldn't say. What do you think, Scott?
For me, it's all about counterpart. It'd be interesting to see. I haven't looked it up to see how better he performs with Jaquan Johnson back there or if Poyer's back there. Like I said, a lot of these guys know where the other person's going to be. We were just talking about the linebacker position, and obviously it goes with defensive contain with the defensive line and defensive ends. If your fellow safety is also being thrown into the mix because the starter's out, in Jaquan Johnson, sometimes in the back of your mind, you're thinking, is he going to do the right coverage? Does he have his responsibility? Regardless if it's the one of your 11, you're still thinking about your team. You're still thinking about, if he gets beat, can I get there? So it'd be interesting to see what the numbers look like with Hamlin playing with Poyer compared to Hamlin playing with Jaquan Johnson.
I like it. Yeah,
but there's still number one defense with him playing majority of the games.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like with all these holes, Trey comes back. Hopefully Trey comes back and against Green Bay.
Oh my gosh.
Like what is this defense going to be then?
There's been no rush to get him back.
Yeah.
No rush.
They don't have.
That's okay.
Do you remember in the offseason when we were all worried? Like, oh man, you better go get a corner. And then now what, like 2 weeks ago they got Xavier Rhodes and he's hurt, and he'll probably never see the field in a Bills uniform. Like,
Nope.
and who's worried? Dane did exactly what we said he was going to do. You know, Kyrie Elam has stepped up. And then you got, the 6th rounder. It's just, I love it. I love all of it.
It's a good spot to be in right now, guys.
Great job, Bean. Great work.
All right, kiddos. It is 9:15. That's not too bad of an overtime. It's not like double overtime or anything. But I think we're going to do some final thoughts. We're going to sign off. Thanks again so much for contributing and being a big part of tonight's live stream. And as always, spread the word. Tell your friends. Don't tell your ex-wife. Tell everybody else. K-Gun, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m.
Swank, can we speed roll this? We got to go through our picks for this week.
Oh God, we do.
Just do a quick pick 'em.
Let's just do the division games.
Yeah, there's three division games this week.
Right.
I'll just throw them out to you guys. Ready?
Hold on,
New York
hold
Jets.
on.
No studying them. Let's just quick pick. Come on. I need to catch up, Swank.
Well, hold on. I'm not studying nothing. I want to put this up.
The record.
Oh.
The record.
And as we're looking again, Scott's slowly creeping in at 22-11, but Swank's sitting up there at 24-9. I would like to give an honorable mention to Jarrod.
Above 500.
Just streaked above 500, 17-16.
Don't lie.
So that's beautiful.
There you
Go ahead. What are the games?
New York
games,
Jets
Jared?
at Denver.
Oh my God.
I'm going Jets.
Oh, I almost dropped my first F-bomb. I know Scott hit one earlier.
The only way to keep it real, Jets win. I hate the easiest way through the playoffs is through the division, but I want to see this a tight division. Go Jets.
So you guys both picked the Jets?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll have to pick the Jets.
All right.
Pittsburgh travels to Miami.
Ooh.
Pittsburgh riding high. Steelers, come on.
Tua's coming back.
Yeah, he'll get hit in the head once and he's out. So
yeah, maybe.
I'm going Steelers.
Who's the
I'm with
starting
you, Eric.
quarterback? Eric, who's the starting quarterback?
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Mm-hmm.
Can we wait to answer this?
No.
No.
Trubisky came in and performed. He performed well. I think he's the reason why they won.
I'm gonna say Miami.
I'm saying Pitt.
I'm going Pitt.
All right.
Chicago travels to New England. It's Patriots.
New England.
Bears versus Patriots. New England.
New England.
I'm going Bears.
I'm going New England. There you go. Just like that.
Hold on, we got toilet bowls, boy.
Oh, TB. All right.
All right. Let's see here. Oof.
Jerry Rice got Jets and Pitt. Welcome, Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice Jr., welcome, my friend. We haven't
Jerry.
seen you in a while. Good to see you. John Johns and Josh Cook
Texans
got the
at
Patriots.
Raiders.
Zappia is for real, I think. He's going to put Jones's position in jeopardy here. What'd you say, Jared?
I sneezed.
He didn't say anything. I said Texans at Raiders. And I thought
Ugh.
when you went on that Zeppy thing, you were talking about the Texans. And I was like, please make your decision based on you thinking Zeppy is the quarterback for the Texans. That is a true toilet bowl. Next to the Jets and the Broncos, Texans at Raiders.
Raiders.
Oof.
I got to go with my man Carr.
We
I'm
think
still a
Jerry?
huge fan of Carr.
I got to go Raiders too.
Oof. Yeah, me too.
Okay.
One more.
Rob Mullen says Raiders.
Yeah. They better win.
Jerry Rice Jr. Raiders. Josh Cook Raiders. The Raiders. I'm telling you what, guys, if these AFC West teams keep winning, we might not even have to worry about the Chiefs in the playoffs.
I know. This one's not necessarily a toilet bowl. It's close. It's like it's going around the rim here. Browns at Ravens. Browns versus old Browns.
I'm going to go Ravens.
I'm going Browns with the upset.
I'm going Ravens. There you go. Now
There
we
we
got
go.
Pick'ems done. Speed Pick'ems brought to you by FLX 24/7 FLX Mafia.
There you go. Very good. Awesome show, guys. Thanks for the participation of Pandemonium for sure.
Thank you guys. Listen, Jarrod, what's your final thought? Just do it.
5-1 going in the bye. Relax, watch the other games. Maybe watch this Green Bay play. Yeah, Green Bay plays this weekend coming up. Watch them, study them. Come back Tuesday and we'll talk about them. One thing I want to mention really quick is at the end of the day, this is just a game, and we love watching this game, but it is just a game. Frank Mullen, one of the guys that follow us, sent me something today in regards to what sports brings to everyday life. A guy was at a store, brought the wrong credit card. He had $110 worth of stuff he was to buy. He was going to take all the stuff back. Lady said, "Don't worry, that guy paid for your stuff." The guy that didn't bring the right card said, "Who was it?" The lady pointed over. It was a guy walking away. The guy grabbed his stuff, ran up to him to thank him, turned around. He was wearing a Kansas City Chiefs jersey. And the guy noticed that the other guy was wearing a Bills jersey, said, "Hey, you beat us up this past weekend. Great game." And he said, "Just pay it forward." So, we can bicker and go at each other's throats as fans, but at the end of the day, we're all human and we love our sports. So just cheer and be humble and, just love your humans. Love us people. Love the people. Go Bills.
Damn, Hippie Jerry is right. Look at this. That was deep, man. That was a really nice thing. I like that a lot. Is that a real story, or did you write that?
Yeah. No, I'll share it with you guys.
Yeah,
Frankie Mullen sent me the same thing, man.
That's
It's
awesome.
it's heartwarming for sure.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Jared, I had a totally different final thought, but I'm going to go off that. Just remember that this is a sport. We cheer for the sport. We have a team that we cheer for. When someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. And be that guy that if you see someone heartbroken because their team lost, say, "Hey, man, next time. Next time." It's to be the man if your team lost and looking at a team that won that probably shouldn't have, say, "Hey, man, good freaking game." We're all there for the same reason. The players are all there for the same reason. If the players are getting paid and their life depends on it, and they can come in the middle of the field, pray together, give each other a handshake, hug each other, and say, "Hey, man, good luck the rest of the season," why can't we? Love the game, love the sport, take advantage of this bye week, watch another team, and understand why the NFL is just more than one team. It's 32 teams, and football is just a wonderful sport in general. Enjoy it. Like I said, let your livers recover a little bit. And I love my Fandemonium. I love the Mafia guys. Go Bills.
Diana Kirkdover says, "Share with all of us." Can you do a post on that?
Yeah, I can do the post.
They would love it. Yeah, man. Man, we're doing a nice soft out, you guys. That's beautiful. I'm gonna go in a different direction. Man, no.
Fuck the Miami fans.
I'm gonna say I just saw. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, and I did a little tweet earlier. Have New York Giants and New York Jets fans just figured out that we give them shit about being from Jersey? Like, just recently have they figured
Just
this
now.
out? Like seriously, because like they're all crying about like, "Oh, Buffalo's in Canada." I've never heard that before. But we've been talking about how there's only one team in New York for how, like, ever since I've been alive. That's been a joke.
It's
and
a thing.
thing. Like,
Yep.
But now it's like all these guys down in New York being like, hey, nah, yeah, what you guys in Canada? Hey, oh, Jersey. There was a Fox Sports thing that said 3 teams in New York are doing really well, and it was Giants, Jets, Bills. And a bunch of people are like, yo, there's only one team in New York. Yo. Dawson Knox says, who's going to tell him?
Who's going to tell them?
Right?
So, yeah.
I just see right now, Fox Sports NFL, 29 minutes ago. Is this better at Buffalo Bills and at Dawson Knox? Records in. They have a T-chart. And on one side it says New Jersey, 5-1 New York, 5-1 Jets. And on the other side it says New York, 5-1 Bills. That's right. Fox Sports just put that out there.
Thank you. Yeah. Recognize.
That's awesome.
I tell everybody, you want the real news, you go to Fox.
Oh, God.
I just say don't watch the news.
There you go.
There's a truth.
Drink
There's a
these
truth.
and don't watch
There's a
the
truth middle. There's a truth in the middle. You humans out there should figure it out yourselves. You're smart enough.
Yo, listen, you guys are great. We love you. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for being a huge part of what we
Yes,
do.
love it.
Continue to share. Continue to talk. Continue to love each other. Like I said, you can catch us every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, on YouTube for the K-Gun Report, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. You can also catch us for Sunday sessions a half an hour before kickoff. So this Green Bay game is going to be a little bit of a thing. So I don't even know when kickoff is. It's got to be like 8:30, 8:25, right?
Sunday night game, guys. It's a Sunday night game, so it's probably 8:20.
So there will be no Sunday sessions this week.
Right.
Next week we will do one, and we'll tell you all about it on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, love you guys. Thanks so much. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
5-1 bye week. Let's get ready. Go Bills.
This is a dangerous group